You see, the most dangerous chains are the ones that feel like comfort, like tradition, like love. But ask yourself, what if everything that made you feel safe was the very thing keeping you small? Let's go back to the beginning. Not the beginning of history or civilization, but your beginning. You came into this world wide open, sensitive, aware, vulnerable, unfiltered. You cried when something was wrong. You laughed without needing a reason. You moved toward what you loved and away from what you didn't. And then something shifted. Slowly, subtly, invisibly. You were taught to ignore that inner compass, to sit down when you wanted to run, to stay quiet when your truth begged to be spoken, to smile when you felt like screaming. They called it manners, maturity, education, success. But what it really was domestication. You weren't raised, you were programmed. And here's the kicker. Most of it was done with love. Not malice, not conspiracy, but generations of inherited fear, shame, and survival instincts passed down like heirlooms in the name of safety. But safe from what? From standing out, from offending, from failure, from poverty, from being alone, from becoming who you really are. That's the lie. That's the quiet trick society plays, convincing you that who you are at your core is too much, too wild, too inconvenient. So they gave you labels, grades, titles, identities, systems. They built a world where your worth depends on how well you blend in, how productive, pretty, popular, palatable you can be. And it works, doesn't it? You chase degrees, promotions, praise. You learn the rules of the game. You play along. You get the house, the car, the filtered smile on a family vacation you barely enjoyed. But late at night, when the performance is over and the lights go out, something whispers from deep inside you. This isn't me. Have you heard that voice? That ache in your soul that no accomplishment can silence? That's not weakness. That's not mental illness. That's not laziness. That's your original self. Still alive, still waiting. You see, society doesn't need prisons when it has mirrors. It doesn't need cold steel bars or solitary confinement when it can hand you a piece of reflective glass and convince you that your reflection is your enemy, that you are never quite enough, not thin enough, not smart enough, not rich enough, not desirable enough, not strong enough. It teaches you slowly and subtly to become your own jailer. From the moment you're born, the world begins to whisper expectations into your ears. You take your first breath, and someone is already drawing lines around who you're allowed to be. Pink for girls, blue for boys. Act like this. Don't do that. Be polite, be pretty, be obedient. Win, smile, don't cry, don't question. Don't be too loud, don't be too much. You grow up in a hall of mirrors, each one reflecting not who you are, but who you're told to be. You scroll through Instagram and see perfect bodies, luxury vacations, six-figure businesses before age 25. Everyone seems happier, healthier, more fulfilled than you. But it's all curated, highlight reels, filters on top of filters, reality edited into fantasy. But no one tells you that. No one tells you that most of what you're comparing yourself to doesn't even exist. So you begin to shrink inside your own skin, wondering what's wrong with you. You start to live for the reflection, for the applause, for the likes, for the validation. You craft your personality like a brand, tailor your opinions to trends, edit your thoughts before speaking. You don't live, you perform. Every day becomes a stage, and you are the actor in someone else's script. And the worst part, you start to believe that's freedom, that chasing approval is self-expression, that comparing yourself to illusions is self-improvement, that playing a role is authenticity. Society hands you mirrors, endless mirrors, and each one teaches you to measure your worth against a moving target. It shows you what beauty is, but that standard changes every season. It shows you what success is, but it always seems just out of reach. It shows you what love should look like, but it forgets to tell you love is messy, imperfect, patient, and real. So when you fall short, and you will, because the bar keeps moving, you don't question the mirror. You don't question the system. You question yourself. You blame your body. You blame your effort. You think, maybe I didn't hustle hard enough. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. Maybe I'm not lovable. And slowly, the voice inside you, the one that knew who you were before the world told you who to be, goes silent. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the mirror? What if the reflection you've been chasing was never meant to define you, but to distract you? What if the system needs you to feel small? What if it thrives on your insecurity, your self-doubt, your constant need to fix, to upgrade, to compare? Because people who are content, truly content, don't buy things they don't need. People who know who they are don't follow trends. People who accept themselves aren't easy to control. That's the real threat to the system. A person who sees beyond the mirror. Imagine a life where your worth isn't dictated by someone else's definition of success, where beauty isn't a number on a scale or a filter on a screen, where your value isn't something that fluctuates based on external validation. Imagine waking up and not feeling behind, not feeling like you have to catch up to some invisible race you never signed up for. Imagine trusting your own voice more than the noise around you. That kind of freedom doesn't come from chasing. It comes from unlearning. Unlearning the lies you were told about who you should be. Unlearning the metrics that measure your worth by productivity, appearance, status. Unlearning the fear that says, if I don't keep up, I'll be left behind. It's not easy, because every day the world will hand you new mirrors, new comparisons, new doubts. You'll see old classmates doing better than you, or so it seems. You'll see people who seem to have it all figured out. You'll wonder if you're falling behind, or failing. But you're not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You are becoming. You are unfolding in your own way, in your own time. And maybe the greatest rebellion in a world addicted to performance is presence. To show up exactly as you are. To stop editing yourself for approval. To stop performing for a love that demands you be someone else. Because the truth is, your power isn't found in the mirror. It's found in the quiet space between comparison and clarity. Do you know what that silence sounds like? It sounds like peace. It sounds like breath. It sounds like you. Not the you show on social media. Not the version your parents approve of. The real you. The one who laughs loudly, cries deeply, loves fiercely, dreams wildly. That you is still in there, waiting to be seen. Not in a mirror, not on a screen, but in a moment of stillness, where you choose to turn inward instead of outward. To ask, what do I want? What does my joy look like? What is my truth? And when you find it, hold it, guard it, protect it like a flame in the wind, because the world will try to blow it out. It will hand you more mirrors. But that's the test. Can you stay rooted in your truth while the world begs you to conform? Can you walk your own path, even when it's lonely? Can you live fully without waiting for someone else to approve? That's not just confidence, that's courage. Because to reject the mirror is to reclaim your mind. To refuse the illusion is to remember your soul. And in a world that thrives on your forgetting, remembering who you are is a revolutionary act. So the next time you look in the mirror and feel like you're not enough, remember, the mirror is not the measure of your worth. Your heart is, your resilience is, your honesty, your kindness, your laughter, your presence. You were never meant to fit into a reflection. You were meant to reflect the light, not chase it. So step away from the mirror and step into yourself. And here's the truth most people will never tell you. You were not made to be manageable. You were not made to be understood by broken systems. You were not made to be small. You were made to burn with purpose, to speak with conviction, to feel deeply, to create wildly, to stand tall. But how? How do you break free when the bars of your prison are invisible? You start with awareness, and then you practice. Not rebellion, but truth. Tiny, terrifying truths, like saying no when you mean no, like walking away from approval you no longer need, like letting go of a job, a belief, a relationship, an identity, because it no longer fits the person you're becoming. You won't get applause for this. In fact, many will resist you, not because you're wrong, but because your freedom reminds them of their chains. Let them. Your courage will be the permission someone else was waiting for. Your authenticity will be the mirror that wakes another soul from sleep. And together, we become dangerous. Not because we burn the system down, but because we stop feeding it. Because we begin to live by a different law, one not written in textbooks or carved into monuments. A law that says, you are not here to conform. You are here to remember what it means to be alive, not efficient, to be whole, not perfect, to be free, not obedient. So now I leave you with this. The choice isn't easy, but it is yours, and it starts now. Choose truth, choose freedom, choose you. If this stirred something in you, don't let the feeling fade. Subscribe, share it, speak it, live it. And if you're ready for the next step, stay with me, because this isn't the end, it's the beginning.